Today I want to talk about one of my absolute favorite subjects, which is everything sparkly. I love it. This is the time of year where you're allowed to be extra sparkly, extra, and maybe just like go for it a little bit with all of the holiday parties and evenings out at a nice dinner with the low light so that your sparkles can just show the most. This is my time of year when it comes to being a sparkly girly. I just wanted to make a video about some of my favorite things that help me get my most sparkly and that I enjoy using the most. Now, I use all of these things all times of the year, but for those of you who need an excuse, now is the perfect time, and here are some of the best things that I have found that really maximize your sparkle. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with cheeks. Now this is kind of difficult because those of us who are a little bit older or we have textured skin, we're a little bit like when it comes to using things like highlighters. I love good highlighters, and I especially like the ones that have like a wet look. But you have to be careful because the more blingy it is and the more beautiful and luscious and reflective it is, the more it's going to show texture. So these are some of the ones that I have found that really, I think, work even with textured skin and still give you that juicy cheek, that like a little bit of extra shine and interest, and just make you look a little more youthful, honestly. It really gives you that beautiful reflective quality that plump skin has. That's why it makes you look a little bit younger without being like disco ball or, you know, making your texture look worse. Okay, so here are a couple of the ones that I have gotten that I really have been using every day. I do have some that are more drugstore. They're fine. They're not as nice and refined as some of these more high-end ones that I'm going to share. So I apologize that these are all a bit on the expensive side, but I do think that if you're willing to spend the money, the formulas are more finely milled and they're just a little bit better on these. Okay, so let's get into cheeks. Okay, so the first one, I actually have been really enjoying this Armani Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancer. I got mine in number 8, which is the pink one. Now, this one you can wear just on its own, and sometimes I do, but my favorite thing to do is to mix it with other things. This shears out, but it leaves you with this luminous, very young, very like juicy looking skin, but it does dry down. It doesn't stay wet, which can be sort of a mess. One of my favorite things to do is to mix it with something else when it's still fluid. One of my favorites, this is from Phytosurgence. If you're looking for kind of cool tone, this is obviously a very cool tone pink, which is nice. This is condensate. I use this all the time for all kinds of things, lips, cheeks. I don't usually use it on eyes, mostly lips and cheeks. But look at how cool and beautiful that color is. If you mix that in, oh my gosh, look at that. If you mix that in with one of these illuminators, it makes the most beautiful radiant blush, and the brighter pink of this particular one really helps kind of bring up the Phytosurgence color. So look at that. And then I just pat that on. I'm not going to do it because I already have some cheek products on, but I would just pat that on and then use it on my cheeks. And, you know, just shear it out and build it up slowly. The nice thing about the condensate one is that it's dark and cool enough. You can sort of use it as a bit of like a contoury kind of blush. And so you go darker right here, and then you build up the shinier part, which is this on the top. So this is one of my go-tos. I've been using this quite a lot. Now, I will use the same mix for the next product. I actually got this in an Ipsy box and I really like it. It's very similar as far as the kind of like formula it is, but this is the Rare Beauty Illuminator in Mesmerize. And this one I really like. Let me wipe this off my hand here. What I really like about this particular one is I like this doe foot. This is really nice. I have too many things in my hands. Let me put that down. Okay, so this one is much more, it's a little bit peachy, bronzy gold, but it really sort of, it has that same beautiful finish on it. And this one, if I need a slightly warmer look, I just mix this with condensate as well. And I think the two go really well together. They mute out a little bit. You mix those two, and it makes basically a warmer, peachier version, just depending on what you're wearing and what your look is. So kind of one of the stars of this is this, which is not shiny, but this is how I like to use these illuminators. Both of these are sort of my little secret weapons, and I use these daily. I mean, look at how pearly and beautiful that is. And when you basically work them out, they really, really look not natural, obviously nobody looks like that, but they look very flattering and beautiful, and they're both finely milled enough in here, the pearlescent part, that it doesn't really pick up too much texture. I don't find. I really think it does some of the blurring for you that you would do anyway with, like a brush or something like that. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Okay, and then finally, I talked about this in one of my last videos, but this Dior, this is a classic. This is the one in #1, and I really will just use a mix of these two. This is almost, if you're as fair as me and cool toned, this is almost just a blush, a straight up blush. But usually I like to go just a little bit darker and more contoury underneath this. But if I'm going for a very, very light look, I will just use this with this on top. And they are both very, very beautiful. I like that these, because it's a dry formula, you're gonna pick up a little more texture, but one of the ways I like to use it, I will just go like this and then just bring it across. And it's really buildable. Sorry, it's hard to do it on my hand. I don't want to build up anymore on my face. But see how it's catching all of the high points of my bony little hands? It does that on your cheeks too. In fact, actually, I think I can get away with a little bit here. Let's go like this. So there we go. So it just picks up that apple part, that high point, just a little bit, little across the nose. It's subtle, it's buildable. I do still find, because I do have some texture, that I like to take a brush like this and just sort of work it in just to make sure. And then it just looks glowy and beautiful and like I have juicy skin, which I do not. Okay, so those are some of my favorite cheek products. Let's move on. Okay, now lips. Everybody loves lips because it's one of those things that everybody can wear. I find that universally, even if you don't wear a ton of makeup, people love lipstick or lip glosses. And in this case, I am specifically going to show you some of my favorite sort of toppers, those things that give you that little extra bling. So let's get into that. Okay, so I'm gonna start with something that I got sucked into that I don't know if you need to get. So I wanted to try these on for you. They're good, but they're kind of expensive. You can get this as a duo. This is the new Ami Collet. They are like their little glitter sort of glosses. I have almost all of their other glosses, and I love the it like if you have lined lips or dry lips, it sort of smooths that all out and it gives you this really, really juicy look that doesn't slide around a whole lot. And so I was so excited for ones that didn't have a lot of color but just had some extra sparkle that were going to be hopefully that same formula. These are close. They don't quite do that. This is almost a like, don't feel like you need to get these. If you wanted to get them, I will show you what they look like because I was so like torn. I was back and forth. They're limited edition. You get them as a set. They're at Sephora. They're nice. Do you need these? Probably not. Here's the gold one. And I dare you to see, they don't leave, I mean, it's a beautiful gloss. It's fine, but there's lots of glosses like this, and what I was hoping for was that there was going to be more of this gold sparkle or this silver sparkle. Honestly, they look the same on the lip. they do, like if you're looking for a gloss, they're nice, but for maximum sparkle, do you need this? No, no. So I feel bad, but I really wanted to throw this in here because it was one of those things that I really wanted, and then when I got it, I was kind of like, oh, okay. So I don't want that to happen to you guys. So there you have been warned / shown that this is how this performs. So it's up to you whether you think that's worth it or not. I don't know if you can still get this, but the Tower 28 one, this is going to be in that same, I think they're like $16, I'm not sure. But this one, it has, you see, it has more of that gold reflect in it. So if you were looking for something with subtle but noticeable gold with a really nice formula, this one from Tower 28 in Magic is probably a better buy. They have a really good formula too, so definitely like this one, highly recommend. In the maybe you don't need this, maybe you do category, look how beautiful these are. This is from Nabla. They got me. They totally got me. It's actually sparkly itself, and these are great lipsticks. Nabla lipsticks are some of my favorites. Very smooth, very beautiful. It does have a little bit of a sparkle and a shimmer to it, and the colors are very beautiful. They are just not as sparkly, and I'm sure you guys all know this, that whenever you see these beautiful ones where they look like a sparkly lipstick, it's never all that sparkly. So they had two sparkly, I think either limited edition colors or they're getting rid of them. Very, very beautiful. They are sparkly, not terribly sparkly, which is kind of what I expected. Great formula. I like this color, this darker color. This lighter color is very peachy on cool tones, so I don't have a whole lot of use for that. However, if you saw those and you were like, oh, I kind of want those for, as like Christmassy sparkly stuff, I would say go for the darker one. It is very pretty. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on over this. It is more of a sheer formula. It is buildable, so you can get it pretty dark, but this is a really pretty one as well. Just not as sparkly as shown online. I mean, I'm not surprised. This is new to me. I love this brand. It's Catkin. I find them on Amazon, and they just have a really nice formula. Now that almost doesn't show up at all. If you're in the right light, it does have sparkles, and they do show on your lips. What I love about this, and I'll put in a little thing so you can see how beautiful sparkly this is. I love, this is sort of a nude on me. The formula on this is really, really, really nice. I'm actually gonna just take off what I have here. I have been reaching for this in the mornings when I'm getting ready for, you know, to do the school drive, just because the formula on this is so like just right, moisturizing, nice. It like gives you just the tiniest hint of shimmer, and it feels so good on your lips. I like this color as well. It's a very natural color on me. I love this. This is unexpected. A lot of times I can't find my color in the Catkin because it is very much, I don't know if it's a Korean brand or a Japanese brand, but they tend to always have warm colors, and then they have like one like almost purple color. So there's not like, usually their mauves are not a really natural mauve on me. We'll see. But their formulas are always really great. This one definitely I think is worth checking out. Okay, as always, any of the Fenty gloss bombs, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but these are just classics. These are always glossy, beautiful formula. They smell delicious, and they are sparkly and beautiful, and pretty much I like all of the colors. I've been wearing this brown one lately just because it's nice and cool. A lot of their stuff is not very cool. This brown, definitely cool. So if you are on the fence, which I doubt any of you are, you probably all at this point, they've been around for so long, tried the gloss bomb ones. it is a staple at this point. These are so, so good. So I definitely recommend these if you're looking for something a little extra, a little sparkly. They have some new like really dark pink ones I haven't gotten yet, just because I'm like, I don't know if I could pull it off, but I really want to try. Okay, and finally in the sparkles for lips category, there's lots of good sparkly lipsticks. There's some old ones, but a lot of the ones I have been discontinued. I don't think it's really super in style right now. Buxom has really beautiful sparkly lip glosses, but e.l.f. came out with all of these new ones that are specifically lip oils that are supposed to be sparkly. I will go ahead and put on the side. You can see me trying all of the different colors on, and what I would say about these, they're only $8, great deal. They're really beautiful. They have a slightly cooling kind of sensation to them. They're really good if you are not looking for an absolute ton of color and you want, I don't want to say a dry lip oil, but it's not a super luscious. Whenever they do the shimmer formula, it's not as wet of a formula. I actually really like them because they kind of stay put. They are great over other stuff, but they're not my absolute favorite lip oil formula. My favorite lip oil formula is still by far the Juvia's Place one. This one is just really luscious, really slippy. Here, I'll show you. It gives you that body that a lot of the other ones don't. So for me, that's my favorite. But if you were tempted by these, or if you like really subtle shimmer, these e.l.f. ones are beautiful. I really like this one as well. It's just enough to give you like a daytime shimmer kind of look without it being like frosty. You don't want to look, if you don't want to look too frosty, these are beautiful. So I think they kind of really, they play up whatever your natural lip color is. And so I really like them for that. And the price is right too. So there you go. Okay, let's move on. Okay, if you guys have been here for any amount of time at all, you know that me and sparkly eyeshadow, yes, we're besties. So I have to say, I just did a video on this if you want more information, but the new Ensley Rain palette is the light in your eyes. This is gorgeous. This has got every like sort of taupe shimmer that you could possibly want, like golds all the way to grays, but shimmery. And so, you know, basically golds and silvers and everything in between, pewter. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's what I'm wearing mostly today. I put a little bit of some bodyography up here too for color, but this, if you were interested in this palette, I can definitely recommend. The quality is absolutely there. The shimmers are gorgeous on this, and if you're looking for something really, really impactful in a shimmer, these guys do not disappoint. So definitely absolutely beautiful. I love, so like some of these, I mean, look at that. That's like, you almost need to tone it down a little bit, and you're definitely going to get a lot of fallout if you don't put down a little bit of glitter glue. But I mean, this is, you know, if you want shimmer, which I almost always do. See, I'm stupid. I shouldn't be doing this without some glitter glue because it's going to be on my cheeks. But I mean, I'm just patting the littlest bit on there, and you can see it picks up wild shimmer. It's so beautiful. So if you're interested in this and you are looking for eye shimmer, this one definitely performs. I highly recommend it. On other eye shimmers, I have talked about this one forever, so I won't spend too much time on it, but the Moira Chroma Light Shadow in Fairy Frost. I have ordered multiple ones of this. This is just everything you need, nothing you don't. A lot of times I will put this just right here and right here, and you can use a brush to make it a little bit less, oh, I got crap all over me, to make it a little less punchy, but I mean, this is really good. And it's Moira, they're not expensive. So as far as shimmers go, that is awesome. Also, if you're going to pick something along those lines, but you want something flakier that is more along these kind of shimmers line, You can get the Moira, what are these? They're like the shadow pots. I'll put up the name. This particular one, which I am almost out of, has got that flaky, like champagne shimmer. This is gorgeous. I'm sorry if this is repetitive for those of you who do watch my videos. These really are the ones that I use all the time. These are my staples, my go-tos. These are the ones that I absolutely recommend every time because they work. And this just absolutely beautiful. These are flakier, they do have fallout, but if you need something more impactful, these definitely will get you what you're looking for and for not too expensive. So definitely love this one. Two more. Again, these have been mentioned in other videos, like my One and Done eyeshadows, but again, these are the ones that I really recommend for that little hint of shimmer or a lot of shimmer on top of your looks. Just like you're going out at night, you want to be sparkly. These are the ones. This is gorgeous. This Coffee and Sona. I know it's viral and all that kind of stuff, and half the time that stuff is, you know, doesn't actually perform. This one really does. You can build it up or you can sheer it out. It's good on its own. It's definitely gold. I think this is beautiful, just tapped sort of on the inner part. I'm gonna be a sparkle monster by the end of this. Anyway, this one is really, really nice. I like this formula from them, but I have noticed that there are other ones that I have in this, you know, style of eyeshadow. Some of them have started to dry out a little bit. This particular one has not, and this is the one that I use all the time, and I use it as a topper for other things. This one I think is definitely worth it, so I would go for this one. And then finally, these little Aflano singles, they're like $6. This one got broken, but if you are also looking for a slightly less chunky, a little smoother version of these, that level of metallic glitter, I'm gonna close this before I get it all over. These are absolutely molten, beautiful, gorgeous to put, you know, over the center so that the light catches it and really gives you that like molten metal look. Really, really beautiful. So, and not too expensive. They do have lots of colors. I like sort of their more taupey goldy colors. This red is also pretty. It's a very natural sort of rust color, and it is super pretty. Very flattering color that you can actually wear. So really love those. Okay. Sorry that this is on my iPhone, but I just wanted to add one more quick little sparkly thing that I kind of forgot about, but I put on today and I was like, oh yeah, that's so good, I have to share it. So it's the Kelsey Ballerini, and I've talked about this before. It's their little CoverGirl, just like a little sparkler that you put over your eyes. This is so good. This is so easy to put on, and it is such a flattering color, especially if you are light. You can sheer it out, you can leave it like kind of full force. I don't know if you can see how beautiful sparkly this is. Absolutely gorgeous. Here's over here is where I sort of used a brush to sheer it out. Let me do it. Okay. What I'll do is I'll leave the center really shiny, and then I will just use the brush to sort of disperse it on the edges so there's not such a harsh line, and then it just looks ethereal and magical and beautiful. And this is all I have on my eyes except for a little bit of eyeliner, so, and obviously some mascara. And I think this is just one of those really sparkly, easy, beautiful things. And it's not expensive. It's a great thing to have in your sparkly arsenal. Okay, back to the rest of the video. Okay, and the last thing is fingernail polish. Now I have been wearing this one. It's just an Essie one. I accidentally got a little bit of staining on my fingernails from all of the orange ones that I had been wearing for, you know, the last holiday. And so I just put this sort of mermaidy beautiful one over it a little bit, and it's so nice. It's this beautiful sort of pearlescent, just really easy to wear color. So I I really, really have been enjoying this. This is very wintry, very much love it. But it's me, and I would love to see some lighter colors that were a little more maybe Christmassy and wintry from my favorite brand, which is Mooncat. But in the meantime, I absolutely love these metallics from them, and they are very just sparkly, beautiful. These particular shades I think are just very, very classy. They have enough of a metallic shift to them that they look like high-end and like you're going out, and you know, they catch your eye. Sometimes the metallic looking ones can kind of look cheap. They sort of get a little bit, they look doled out once they're actually on your nails. Like, they look great when they're still liquid in here, but they don't look so great on your nails. These ones, not the case. Especially love this. I have this on my toes right now, this Firewall. This is just gorgeous. And honestly, these are about OPI prices. They're around $13 to $15. Sometimes they're on sale. I think these are much better quality. And look at the packaging on that. Just absolutely gorgeous. So I love Mooncat. I have to say, I think they're my absolute favorite brand, certainly the indie brand, just for how buttery and like thick their nail polishes are and how easy they go on. They kind of self-level. It's just, they're so easy to use. They make you look like you don't even need a top coat. They're even better with a top coat. I mean, they're just gorgeous. Nocturne, this one's really pretty. It's orangey, but it's almost red. Really, really pretty little flecks of gold in there. To me, this looks very kind of holiday friendly. And then if you wanted a beautiful, it's kind of like, this is more like a pewter. This one's more of a bronze, like just a very classy, shiny bronze. It's, you know, almost like a cat eye. Very, very beautiful. The trouble with immortality. So anyway, these are all really beautiful, and if you're looking for that classy but sparkly, I don't know if these are sparkly, but they're sparkly adjacent. There are sparkles in all of these, honestly. There are little sparkles, but they come across as more like luscious, metallic, sexy, very like almost 1920s, but like just rich. So I love these. Okay. Just a few things. This is just one of those little like passion projects for me. I love sparkly everything, and this is my excuse to like talk about it. So here are just a handful of my favorites that I use like daily. I really use these things all the time, but I love that this time of year I can just like sort of go overboard with it. So I just wanted to share. I really just wanted to talk about sparkles. So here you go. Hopefully you found something in here that was something you hadn't heard of before, or that you think might actually appeal to you, so that you can enjoy the season and get a little extra sparkly too. If you haven't subscribed and you like this kind of content, please go ahead and give me a like and subscribe, as it really helps my channel to grow, and I really appreciate you guys being here. All right, hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.